Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this video, if you could just hit that button down below, that would massively help me out because we're trying to get to 10k before the start of the season. As well, before we move on, the Leeds Creator Cup is just around the corner. Get your tickets down in the link below. The John Charles Centre for Sport on the 20th of July. Tickets for adults, £7. Tickets for children, £3. And it all is in aid of Prostate Cancer UK. Today's video, though, is about a potential goalkeeper signing. Leeds have been linked with the signature of Vanja Milinković-Savić, brother of course, Sergej Milinković-Savić, the 6'6" or 6'7.5" actually goalkeeper. Currently plays his football for Torino, and the Serbian is on wages of €25,000 a week. So definitely something that Leeds would be able to cover, and is somebody who is an absolute beast and has been on the radar of a couple of Premier League clubs, including Scum as well. His contract expires June 30th, 2026, so he's only got 1 year left on his deal. He does have an option for a further year, but to protect his value, it would make sense for Torino to sell. Apparently, his value is around €16 million, so if Leeds were to get him, I would imagine they'd ask for a little bit more than that, so maybe around £20 million for the signature of the Serbian goalkeeper. I certainly think it's one that we should look at. He's so tall, so commanding, and when you actually watch him play as well, for somebody who's 6'7.5", he doesn't half get down fast to either side of his corners. Excellent penalty saving record as well is something to be noted. There's so many clips of him saving penalties, but he's somebody who will come and claim things aerially. He's somebody who will be a great shot stopper, double saves, reaction saves. He's got all of that in the locker, and he's certainly someone who I think would massively solidify us at the back. One of the most kind of important things, I think, when you're playing in a lower Premier League side is being able to defend those set pieces, because if you can have a really, really low concession rate from set pieces, it sets you up well to if you're only conceding goals from open play, it really sets you up well to survive in the Premier League. When we look at his statistics in a little bit more detail then, goals against 1.14 per 90. So compared to other goalkeepers in the last 365 days in the top 5 leagues, that puts him in the 75th percentile. So he's in the top 25% of all European goalkeepers for how many goals he's conceded in a game. And let's not forget as well, Torino aren't obviously the best side in the division. They're kind of a mid-table side. So they're not exactly going to be have the best defence in the world in front of him as well, so to have a concession rate of that is really good. 77.5% is his save percentage, which puts him up in the 93rd percentile, so the top 7% of goalkeepers in Europe. That's really good, and it's an improvement on Meslier as well. Like I said before about his saves versus penalty kicks, he saves 57.1% of penalty kicks taken against him, putting him in the 91st percentile, so the top 9% in Europe. So again, that big frame, so strong, using his body weight to dive either way and to save those penalties. When we look at how much he actually touches the ball as well, touch is 46.95 per 90, puts him in the 98th percentile, so the top 2%. So yes, he can be a ball-playing goalkeeper, and when you look at his goal kicks, average length of his goal kicks is 51.1 yards, puts him in the 79th percentile, so he does like to send a lot of his goalkeepers fairly long, goal kicks, and 40% of the time he will launch the ball, so send it long basically, so that puts him in the 75th percentile. So he does tend to send the ball long quite often, but he's not somebody who is going to worry too much about having to play around at the back if he doesn't have to. He touches the ball a lot of the time, so he will be capable of playing around at the back, but sometimes he knows that he's going to have to launch that ball forward to get his team out of danger. So that's an important thing to note there. Crosses stopped, 6.3% of crosses stopped, so 57th percentile. So that puts him above average, but you would kind of expect him to be a little bit higher in that statistic, given the fact he's 6'7.5". But it can all depend on the league you're playing in, how often the ball's crossed in, where the ball's crossed. It might be places that you can't even get to as a goalkeeper, and you might have that ability to decide when and when not to go and be a good decision maker in that sense. The other one that I always want to have a look at is the PSXG-GA, also minus GA, which is the post-shot expected goals minus goals allowed, i.e. Positive numbers suggest better luck or an above average ability to stop shots. So, i.e., is the goalkeeper expected to stop a shot based on 100 shots from that position? How many have gone in? That kind of gives you a number there of how often you are likely to see a goalkeeper make that save. So he's up at plus 0.31, so he's in the positive for that, which puts him up in the 93rd percentile. So essentially, long story short, he's in the top 7% of goalkeepers in Europe for saving more shots than they actually should. That's the headline with that. When we look at goalkeepers similar to Milinković-Savić, to give you an idea of kind of who he's been compared to, Jordan Pickford is one of them at Everton. But interestingly, a couple of goalkeepers that we've been linked with, Robin Zentner at Mainz and Finn Darman at Augsburg, are two goalkeepers who we have been linked with, who come up with similar statistics to Vanja Milinković-Savić. And then, of course, some other ones across Europe as well, like Mile Sevilla for Roma, Sergio Herrera for Osasuna, Donovan Leon for Auxerre in the French league. So Vanja Milinković-Savić then is somebody who has been linked with a move to Napoli, I think, as well. Given the fact it looks like their goalkeeper, Alex Mere, is on his way out. He's also been linked with Manchester United, but Leeds could get the deal done, I think, for around £20 million. He's 28, so for somebody who is coming into the prime of his career as a goalkeeper, he's a good age to sign as a goalkeeper, I think. And he's somebody who has more experience than Meslier, is less likely to make mistakes. He's actually taller than Meslier, which is quite a task, and is somebody who would massively solidify our backline. So for me, it's definitely worth putting in a bid for Vanja Milinković-Savić and seeing what Torino say, because he would massively solidify our backline. Like I said at the start, make sure you hit that big button down below. The Creator Cup is in the link in the description below, so go and check that out. And of course, my prints as well that I've designed for Leeds United fans are in the description as well. If you head down to the link in the description below, you'll find a link to my Etsy page where I will be selling Leeds United prints, this being one of them, the Marching On Together print. This is available with a white background as well, with different coloured stripes. And then there's also some other ones there, Leeds Legends print and Champions Again print, and there'll be more added in due course. If you don't make a purchase, still go over there, make sure you go and like the shop. That would really help me out, tries to push me up in the Etsy algorithm. That would be great. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I'll see you in the next one.